The Samsung Galaxy NX is the first interchangeable lens camera that runs Android. It's the result of a marriage between two of Samsung's lineups, the NX mirrorless cameras and the Galaxy Smart devices, and is a huge upgrade over last year's Galaxy camera and Galaxy S4 zoom. The Galaxy NX is built like most high-end digital cameras. It uses the NX mount standard, so if you've bought lenses for a Samsung NX camera, you can use them. Our review unit came with an 18 to 55mm lens with optical image stabilization. This lens has two control rings. One handles optical zoom, while the other controls focus or another function if you use the IFN button. The Galaxy NX relies on hardware controls for basic photography functions, still and video shutter keys, and a clickable mode dial. A pop-up xenon flash and an LED autofocus assist light are used with low light photography, but you can attach more powerful flashes using the hot shoe slot. The camera has a 4.8-inch super clear LCD with 720p resolution and an RGBW pentile matrix, which is massive by digital camera standards. There's also an electronic viewfinder of SVGA resolution and a proximity sensor that disables the touchscreens when you put the viewfinder up to your eye. The left side of the Galaxy NX houses the ports, micro USB and micro HDMI, both hidden under a plastic flap, and 3.5mm audio jack. On the bottom, there's a standard tripod mount and a big plastic door that covers the 4360 mAh battery, micro SIM, and micro SD card slots. The grip on the right side of the camera has leather texture and fits really well in hand. You're going to need it too, as the device itself weighs half a kilogram with the lens attached. The thumb rest improves grip for one-handed use, but is a bit too close to the touchscreen. The Samsung Galaxy NX runs Android 4.22 with TouchWiz 5, the same software used on the Galaxy S4 and S4 zoom. It's powered by an Exynos 4412 rather than a Snapdragon or an Exynos 5, but other than that, the interface is virtually identical to the S4 family, except for when you launch the camera. The first time you power on the NX, the camera interface pops up before you even see the home screen. To get to the home screen, you can swipe left. The camera app is just a special home screen pane. This means that you can access it by going right, or you can just tap the camera button in the lower left-hand corner. Note that things are a little inconsistent here. You go back to the home screen pane you launched the camera from, not the one adjacent to it, as the swipe gesture might lead you to expect. The camera interface is almost the same as the one that debuted on the Galaxy camera and has since been used on a number of Galaxy smartphones. You start in auto mode, which is a simple to use point and shoot mode. You can enable photo effects with live preview here, or go into one of the more advanced modes using the on-screen button or the mode dial. The mode dial can also be used to select options. The smart mode, for example, has a ton of shooting options. Click the mode dial and rotate it until you selected the one you want. We find that the carousel mode works better than the grid mode, as the grid mode uses a hard-to-see light blue border to highlight your selection. Things start to get interesting when you go into the expert mode. On-screen dials let you adjust every single setting for the camera, but you can also use the hardware dial on the lens. Just hit the IFN button to cycle between the available settings in the current mode and rotate the ring to adjust them. You can also use the mode dial to adjust. The Samsung Galaxy NX has a lot of tools to help you line up the perfect shot. You can enable a histogram and an overexposure guide to make sure you've nailed exposure. There's also a horizontal level to avoid tilted horizons. Then there are the focus assist tools. You can enable manual focus by flipping the switch on the lens, and MF Assist, which shows a zoomed in view as you rotate the focus ring. You can also enable focus peaking that highlights areas that are in focus. You can also combine autofocus and manual focus by enabling the DMF mode, half press and hold the shutter key, and then rotate the ring to adjust the focus to your liking. Or you can just use touch focus. Autofocus and auto exposure locks can be toggled, and advanced users can even decouple the AF and AE points and adjust the AF size. While these things might sound complicated, the Galaxy NX makes it easy to learn. The large touchscreen makes operation simpler than all the buttons and dials on other cameras, and also makes subtle changes much more apparent. On the other hand, gesture control isn't as fast as proper hardware knobs, but this one was never targeted at pro users. Even that aside, the smart mode has so many options that it will automatically pick the best settings for just about every scene. As you do that, make note of the readings at the top of the screen. Those are the ones selected automatically, a good way to learn what works in what situation.